The internet can be a very dark and dangerous place sometimes. Sure, it has its positives, but for the most part, I've seen a lot of negativity coming out of the Charlie Kirk murder, a lot of lies being spread, especially from some of those that used to be close to him, that being Candace Owens. She has been, along with Ian Carroll, spreading the lie that Israel is responsible, and Mossad is responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. Lots of these other lies are coming out saying that Charlie Kirk was, not taking money from a specific donor, multimillionaires or billionaires even. He was annoying a lot of people. And, never miss an opportunity when someone has actually been brutally murdered to make yourself out to look like you are the one with all the facts, right? Even though you've got no idea what the hell happened. Most of us are trying to work out what actually happened. And the police are giving us, or the FBI is giving us, those are the reliable sources, right? You should be looking at what they're saying. And I'm following Benny Johnson. And not once has Benny Johnson gone and accused Israel, but for some reason, those delusional dingbats like Candace Owens and Ian Carroll are so delusional and so crazy. They want to continue asking these questions about Charlie Kirk's killer and all that sort of other stuff as well. But we're not going to stop asking questions, ladies and gentlemen. And those questions are, why was Charlie Kirk, under a lot of pressure before his, and you weren't asking any of these questions before his murder, right? Like no one seemed to do that, but it's always after Charlie's killed by the likes of Tyler Robinson, who is the suspect they've got in custody. Everyone seems to want to play like conspiracy theorist sleuth. Same with Candace, and she's angry. She's very, very angry at people that are actually spreading the truth. But the thing is, why don't you let people grieve? Why don't you let them actually hear the truth from reliable sources rather than yourself? And for those people that are commenting on the video that I made yesterday, no, I'm not a Mossad agent. No, my audience not Mossad bots. Like, get real. You dingbat. See, the internet, as I mentioned a moment ago, is a really dark place full of people that are really deranged. And it's also full of people that actually have a little bit of common sense. So get this, ladies and gentlemen, Benny Johnson, this is 100% confirmed. Multiple sources have confirmed this. Charlie Kirk killer Tyler Robinson had a boyfriend who identified as transgender. This man is cooperating with the FBI and has turned over electronics and messages. I'm hearing there is so much more to come. Yes, this is now officially trans violence. And the last question Charlie Kirk answered before he was murdered was, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Charlie responds, too many. And then he's asked, do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence. Charlie was then taken out. So I am completely and utterly finished with Ian Carroll and Candace Owens. Those sorts of people have got Israel derangement syndrome, and now they're just spreading really egregious lies. I mean, let Erica Kirk and the family, for goodness sake, grieve. Just stop. Stop trying to blame this on a small nation that loved Charlie Kirk. So a reporter asked Benjamin Netanyahu, hey, I've got to ask you this question. Is Israel responsible? And here's what Benjamin Netanyahu had to say.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and it's just the absurdity of it, some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder. And, I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to, make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing it's not only insane, I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying this. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this. But they go, they have no limits. When you hate Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, you're willing to say anything and promote all these absurd rumors. And by the way, they're willing to kill us all the time. I mean, that's what they're doing. And over the centuries, when Jews, especially in the Middle Ages, the horrific Middle Ages, the worst things were said about Jews you couldn't possibly believe. We were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children. You name it. I mean, these things, that continued actually up to the Holocaust. The Nazis said the same thing. We're carrying vermin, we're spreading disease. And people believed it. And every time they believed it, this was a prelude to a greater and greater massacre, culminating with the worst massacre of them all, the Holocaust. Well, since then, we've learned, when people spread these lies about us, prepare yourself for the assault. And, they're trying to delegitimize the state of Israel. Charlie Kirk said to me that, he wrote me this detailed letter, you have to fight the slander. These untruths, these vilifications have consequences. And he was right. But I'll tell you one thing, we're fighting on the battlefield against the terrorists and winning. And he was fighting on the battlefield of ideas. And I think he was winning. He was going to win. That's why they shot him. I hope they don't silence him. I don't think people will give in to these ridiculous lies.
You can hear it in his voice. It's like he can't even believe that people are blaming Israel for the murder of a man they loved, a man that defended them a lot. He was a Christian, and Charlie wasn't changing his mind at all or going through some spiritual revelation that he was eventually going to see things Candace's way. And once again, how dare she say such a thing, considering Charlie's not here to defend himself. There was a video that went viral of Charlie calling out Israel derangement syndrome and calling out Candace Owens. I made a video about it. So Charlie was distancing himself from Candace Owens. Notice how Candace didn't even show a recent text message. I wonder why that is. There's always past things. So nothing recent. Gee, could it be that their friendship was a bit... We all know Candace told Charlie apparently her way of thinking, and I can honestly see Charlie going, what the hell? What's wrong with you? You must be mentally insane and deranged, woman. Ashton Forbes goes, I completely disavow Ian Carroll and Candace Owens. I want nothing to do with their mentally ill propaganda related to Charlie Kirk's death. That's what it's becoming. They're using it to bolster this egregious lie that Israel is responsible, so people get angry at Israel even more. So really what they're doing is pro-Palestinian propaganda and anti-Israel stuff. Like they're using Charlie Kirk's death for it. And they're going, well, don't be, it's just nuts. And I'm like, still having a hard time trying to process these dingbats, these people that have got literally no reason behind them, no rationale. They're egregious liars, and it's got to stop. They're part of the problem of what got Charlie Kirk killed. Ideologies that lie and you don't tell the truth. And so people get nuts. He goes, I want nothing to do with their mentally ill propaganda. I appreciate that they once platformed me, but there is no equivalence between what they're doing now to ruining Charlie's legacy and my research into MH370, an exotic technology. Ian Carroll is a fraud. He's buddy-buddy with CIA podcasters like Julian Dory and Danny Jones. You are an absolute idiot if you believe anything he says. Yeah, well, that's kind of evident. Finally, the shooter's own parents turned him in. That was the end of the insane fake conspiracy they're developing. But no, they're like, don't worry about, don't look over here, look over here. And that's the problem that we've got. By the way, Laura Loomer goes, I'm not a very religious person. I have never been, and I don't think I ever will be, to be totally honest. But I saw this on X, and it caught my eye. 3.3 million posts on X of Charlie Kirk trending with Jesus. That's saying something. And also at the Unite the Kingdom rally over in the UK. Elon Musk calls out left-wing violence and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. See how much violence there is on the left with our friend Charlie Kirk getting murdered in cold blood this week, and people on the left celebrating it openly, and the left is the party of murder and celebrating murder. And they're more than that. So the problem that we've got with this murder is so many people are seizing an opportunity to lie for their own gain. That's just as sick and twisted as the killer. Like, how dare you do such a thing? Tell the damn truth. It shouldn't be that hard, should it? But in today's day and age, people are truly sick in the head, or sick in the heart too, the human condition, right? And the worst part is not just the celebrating of his death, but also the egregious lie that Israel is the one that's responsible for taking him out. And anyone that says that, I will put them straight. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.